There's a lot of reasons we need this right now. You've probably noticed it. Let's talk about how to stay happy in the midst of toxic negativity. Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins, a positivity psychologist with 2 don'ts and 2 do's. Stick around, I've got something to show you at the end. Let's start with the don'ts. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Think about all of the negativity that's swirling around us in our world. I notice it in specific settings and places more than others. I've noticed, for example, that many news broadcasts tend to focus on negative stories or elements. I don't like to watch them, and I try to stay away from them as a result. I don't want to put myself in harm's way to experience only the negative. Now, what about staying up to speed on what's going on in the world? Look, most news is available on demand, and you can peruse what's going on in the world through on-demand sources where you can be a little more selective and filter out some of the things that are just going to bring you down. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Another place, social media. A lot of times you're going to see feeds on social media that focus on negativity. Be careful about who you follow and what you watch and what kind of input you're exposing your poor little mind to all the time. Stay out of harm's way. Here's the second don't. Don't inhale. Meaning, even if you can't avoid the negative influences and stories that are out there, you don't have to buy what they're selling. Don't jump into the fray and get completely engaged in the negativity. When you see it happening, it's time to start changing the direction. Let me just comment about that phrase that I shared with you. You don't have to buy what they're selling. I worked with a client years ago who had a compulsive shopping habit. It was so interesting to me that she didn't seem to have the ability to not buy something. And this was true if she went to a marketplace, but it was also true on those late night infomercials where she would be watching a program and an infomercial would come on, advertising whatever it was for $19.95 or only 3 low payments of whatever. She couldn't leave her credit card in her purse. She had to pull it out and make the call and purchase whatever they were selling, even if she didn't need it. This became a problem, obviously, from a financial standpoint, but also her house was getting piled up with all of this stuff that she was buying because she couldn't stop herself. You don't have to buy what they're selling. Put that in terms of negativity. Social media, news feeds, the conversations at the water cooler. You don't have to engage at that level. You don't have to buy what they're selling. Now, it's one thing to talk about what not to do, and you probably already knew, okay, don't put myself in harm's way. I don't have to buy what they're selling. What can we do instead? Let's get down to what we will put into our mind, what we will expose ourselves to. Get out there and put as much positive content in as you possibly can. One of the ways that I encourage my clients to do this, or in our coaching programs, is to do a daily positivity bump. This is first thing in the morning. You pick some activity that raises your level of positivity right from the get-go. This might be listening to a podcast. It might be reading an inspiring book or inspiring materials. It could be your exercise routine that you've added a little audio book listening to the routine as well. Whatever it is that helps you to get a little positive bump right at the beginning of the day, this sets up the energy and helps you to have a more positive experience, even if you're surrounded by negativity. Hey, incidentally, one of the things that you can do for your positivity boost is come back to the channel. So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way we can help take care of that for you. As you intentionally start to look for positive material for your positivity bump, you are going to see that there's an abundance out there. There are so many good sources that you can tap into, and that leads me to my last do. Do turn on the lights. When you go into a dark room and you turn on the lights, it illuminates the entire room. If you open a dark closet door, what happens? The dark rushes out and fills up the room? No, the light goes in and dispels all of the darkness in the closet. Turn on the lights. When it comes to positive content in this world, there's enough negativity. But the negativity will give way to positive content if enough of us start turning on the lights. That's what I'm talking about. I told you I wanted to show you something, and I brought it with me here today. This you'll probably recognize. My friends in the UK call this a torch. Here on my side of the pond, we call it a flashlight. And when you push this button right here, it turns on a little light that's kind of bright. But I can now take this light and I can shine it around and I can illuminate dark spaces using my flashlight. I want to show you something that most people don't even know about. If you remove inside of this thing, I know this is going to blow your mind. If you remove the battery pack and reassemble the device, guess what we have now? Now we have a flash dark. Yeah, stay with me. When you push the button, do you see that little spot of dark? Do you see how it just throws darkness all over this room? No, because there's no such thing as a flash dark, is there? I showed you that to make a point. Light always wins. When we turn on our light, it dispels the darkness. There's no such thing as a flash dark. Some of these ideas are new to some of our viewers. Some of you are already pretty used to thinking this way. What's up next is how to reprogram your mind to be strong and positive and confident. Cue that one up next. We've got your back on this. I'll see you there.